Welcome back. Coming up on 10:15 this morning, and that means it's time for a little Lights, Camera, McCarthy.
Oh my gosh, this morning we're talking a little Superman. Kevin has everything that we need to know, and I've been excited about this one for a while. Definitely going to go and see this one in theaters, Kevin.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible summer for films. I'm really excited about the potential that we have for a lot of big summer blockbusters. This film, it feels like a summer that I would have had when I was a kid, to be honest with you. Like, we have Superman, we have Fantastic Four. I'm just really excited about that big blockbuster idea. And Superman is hitting theaters July 11th. And Mr. David Corenswet is the lead star of this film. This is directed by James Gunn, who also did the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. And this is going to be a big film for the DC comic world and kind of beginning this new phase of DC Comics and Superman and David Corenswet taking on the iconic role. We obviously know Christopher Reeve as well as the amazing Henry Cavill. I mean, Christopher Reeve's obviously one of the greatest of all time, probably the greatest Superman. But I also really did love Henry Cavill as well. But I think you really can't compete with Christopher Reeve. Like, he was brilliant. But yeah, I spoke to David Corenswet, who plays Superman, as well as Lois Lane herself, Rachel Brosnahan, and also Lex Luthor himself, played by the amazing Nicholas Hoult. And I spoke to all three actors about the film and more, but also David Corenswet gives a really cool insight into how he views the different personalities of Superman versus Clark Kent. Take a look. One of my favorite scenes in the film is when we see Clark Kent's childhood room. If I were to walk into your childhood bedrooms when you were younger, what would have been on your walls? What posters would you have had? Like, what trophies would you have had in your rooms? Kind of like what Clark has in his film, in his room.
Well, I had a photo of Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit fame that I pulled out of a J14 magazine when I was a child, and my mother was horrified, and so she framed a picture of Prince William to put up on my wall next. I'm half British, so she was like, "You will idolize Prince William.
You will be a queen.
You will." Didn't work out.
Not yet.
What about for you? What about your wall?
I had a Hot Fuzz poster. That was my first movie poster. But before that, I would have had my Harry Award from my summer theater program. Harry Dietzler is the head of the program, and so we had the Harry Awards at the end of the year. And I won one for Best Villain when I played Jafar in Aladdin Jr.
That's awesome. The Hot Fuzz poster.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the best of the trilogy.
For sure. It's my favorite movie of all time. I've seen it 200 times. I can still watch it and enjoy it.
Does that mean you're a Bad Boys 2 fan, too?
I have never seen Bad Boys 2. But I love in Hot Fuzz when he talks about Bad Boys 2. You ain't ever seen Bad Boys 2?
It's one of the best movies ever. What about you, Nicholas? What'd you have on your wall growing up?
I remember all my trophies.
Like what?
Tell us about your trophy.
One was most improved for the Reading Rockets basketball team I played for. So not the best player, but most improved, which I actually saw as a good sign of things to come. Unfortunately, I didn't.
He's still improving.
So yeah, that gives me hope. I won a bronze medal for discus, county discus, so that was displayed with pride. Those were all. It's not a very long list.
Well, I appreciate you sharing those.
Thanks.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are.
I think there's an emotional difference that you can find between Clark Kent and Superman.
No, there isn't.
Oh, you don't?
No, 100% there is.
Oh, I was just wondering what you see in terms of the emotional difference between the two and how each operate emotionally.
So I actually think the emotional part is the third character that plays both the characters. The actual guy, Clark Kent, who was raised by his parents on the farm, and Clark Kent at the Daily Planet and Superman are both characters that he puts on. Because in the same way that Clark Kent is, an alter ego, a disguise to fit in, to sort of get by, to maybe be in a room where he can get some information without sticking out. Superman is also a character because Superman needs to convey calm and reassurance, and more so than I think the real guy ever fully feels. He wants to convey a certainty and a feeling of having everything under control beyond what he actually feels, because he knows that that's what's going to make people feel calm and reassured. And so the emotional life, I think, is kind of the same throughout, which is ultimately a love of humanity, a desire to be connected to people, and Superman and Clark are just two different ways that he does that.
All right, that is the cast of Superman. David Corenswet there speaking. He is Clark Kent, Superman himself. You also had Nicholas Hoult on the left there, who plays Lex Luthor, and of course Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Lois Lane. And you know, it's crazy to think about the legacy of Superman, all the amazing actors who have played that character. Christopher Reeve, obviously. I mean, that is the most iconic version, I would argue, and that John Williams score. But I really did love what Henry Cavill did with the Zack Snyder films, and Brandon Routh, obviously, as well. We've had a lot of different actors over the years, the Smallville TV show as well. So there's a lot of different iterations of this. But this movie opens up July 11th. We're going to have more from the cast coming up this week and next week. But make sure you stay tuned for that. But David Corenswet, I'm a big fan that he loves the movie Hot Fuzz and Bad Boys 2, so it was cool to chat with them, and thank you to the cast for being so kind.
Yeah, of course. That's an interesting topic, too, just how much pressure it is to be able to perform as a character like that, Kevin.
Absolutely.
But also the way he explained it was really fascinating. You think about there are three characters. There's the emotional bond, and then he has to play Clark Kent. He has to play Superman and Kal-El. And like it is kind of an interesting thing that he's playing all these different people in the world of Superman.
Here. Yeah.
Very fascinating character. It is.
Thank you so much, Kevin. You know we love to see all of your interviews.